All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Yasha Allah at the GMS Lions Den camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, man, I think we're about 15 days in to this government shutdown with Trump, you know. The damn dictator Trump, you know, turned his position into a dictatorship now, dictating the affairs of the citizens, you know, dealing with wages, taxation, trade, all right? And the government shutdown is just the beginning, and we're going into the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's what it's mostly going to fall on, Jake, children of Israel. All right, what they call in America minorities, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and of course you got the average, everyday Joe Schmo American, you know, Edomite or Moabite or whatever other heathen nation that's on the lower part of the lower base of the totem pole, dealing with their own nations. But it's really going to affect what they call the lower class and the middle class that are on food stamps, WIC. You know, the so-called black women always love that WIC. They love food stamps. They love what's that shit called, man? That housing shit, man. I forget the name of it right now, but you know, I forget the name of that shit, man. What's the name of that shit? All right, there it goes. Just Section 8. You know, and other benefits and shit. You know, same women that be walking up the street, poking their damn head up, poking their nose in the air, looking down on you. I just walked by one in the store. I'm walking by, she got blonde dreads in her hair. And I'm like, yo, excuse me, let me get squeezed by. Bitch ain't moved, man. Didn't want to move out my way. And I was like, you know what, this is why the Most High judging these people, man. You know, you're going to squeeze that wickedness out of them, just like chemotherapy and shit. You know, down to the bone with distress and anguish. That's what's coming to this place, man. It's going to be people invading one another, kicking in doors. They're going to start bugging out here, man. And they still don't believe it. That shock factor is just kicking in. The flood just creeping in. And they still in that shock factor. You're starting to hear celebrities talk about it now. I can't believe a government shutdown. Only reason they really paying attention to it because it's affecting food stamps. You know? And what else? And that Section 8 bullshit. All right, and the federal workers. And after a while, they just ain't gonna get paid. He said he willing to keep the government shut. Trump said he willing to keep the government shut down for a whole year. So that's a whole year without the Border Patrol getting paid and federal employees getting paid. He said a lot of them just not even working anymore. They just quit instead of dealing with all that. So, all right. But it says right here, it says Donald J. Trump on his Twitter says, I am pleased to inform you that I will address the nation on the humanitarian and national security crisis on our southern border Tuesday night. That will be tomorrow. Today's Monday at 9 p.m. So he putting it off, man. He going to address the nation. And they saying he might put out that damn, that text that went to everybody, went to everybody's phone. If you try to put in the, you know, what do you say, you know, state of emergency, that's basically martial law. All right. State of emergency would give him ability to finance any war, any wall he want to get built, you know, anything he want to do, that would give him all dictatorship to run everything just by him declaring state of emergency. You know, and in the state of emergency, the president usually cannot get impeached in the midst of war. And also they can't do any investigations on him because the federal investigation department is not active or some shit. This shit crazy, man. This dude, he pulled a major chess move on everybody, man. That's why you know he the devil. So it says, President real Donald Trump, okay, Donald Trump will travel to the southern border on Thursday to meet with those on the front lines of the national security and humanitarian crisis. It's not a crisis, man. They're making it a crisis. They could easily come together and feed those people, give them housing, you know. But it says more details will be announced. But this society is crashing. It's not set up to house anybody. This was set up for judgment. America was set up for a judgment place. See, people think this is like the golden city, as it proclaimed itself to be before and after the Great Depression. You know? So they still trying to make their way over to what you call the golden city, Babylon, man. This is Babylon, the place of confusion. All right? Place of great death and anguish, man, and suffering. So this is a post from National News. And it says, food stamps denied as part of government shutdown. Shoo, food is going to be denied. Food stamps, meaning, and they got the monopoly on it because, say for instance, you got your stamps. They shutting it down to where at some point in some cities, when you go to the registers won't receive your stamps. That's a whole nother setup. It's a lot at play here, man. Because that's a whole nother setup for the RFID chip as well, the mark of the beast system. They can easily, just a reflection of what's going to happen in the future when they reject everybody's money, cash, and when they reject what you call debit cards and credit cards. And all Trump got to do, as he's doing right now, is say they're not accepting it. See that? He can pull the plug and say they only accepting the chip or blockchain, crypto coin, something like that. It was food stamps denied as part of government shutdown. People gonna go crazy out here, man. Jake want to eat. They be using their food stamps, getting lobster, all kind of shit. And they had to slow that down. And now they just eating rations, man. You go to the Walmarts, you can tell that America's falling just by going to the Walmart. You see everybody walking around flip-flops and have pajamas and shit, and walking around with nothing but debit cards and shit. They don't have no type of stock or what you call a trading mindset. You know, only thing they don't have a farm. We don't have farms. We don't have, you know, most people don't have backyards so they can grow some shit. You know, so there's nothing to barter. Everybody going out with a handout or with a card or working, which is nothing but slavery. So indentured servants. And they give out rations with food stamps. and Jake, the so-called black woman mainly, and Ephraim, you know, they was the main ones eating off the food stamps, throwing it in the man's face. And Section 8 and his government assistance and child support. Yeah, they might shut that down too. All right. So it says Clay City, Indiana. So this is in Indiana, in Clay City. Besides federal employees working without pay, now some grocery stores are unable to accept EBT and food stamps due to the government shutdown. Clay City's IGA has been turning away customers who want to pay with EBT and food stamps for a little over a week. It's crazy, man. So it's been about a week, and people that got food stamps in that city have not been able to get food with stamps. So they got children at home and they ain't got no other means of paying for food. That's a wrap. They got to go to the pantry. You know, that's why you got to know the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He said he gonna take care of you according to your faith in that day. All right. And he got to bless you to even have that type of faith, to have knowledge of him, to be able to call on him in that day. So he'll take care of you the way he took care of, Elijah. All right. Had crows come to feed him. You never know how he's going to take care of you in these times. All right. But everybody about to be tested. This is the temptation that's going to come upon all the world, you know, and the time of Jacob's trouble. But the scriptures say he shall be saved out of it. Who is that? The elect of the children of Israel. The Lord about to do a spiritual chemotherapy, an ethnic cleansing on the children of Israel, man, and get the cancers out. All right. And he's going to do it through faith and doubt. The ones that believe, they the ones that he brought to this point and has guided you, through these dark times up to this point in faith, in the measure of faith that you have today in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and that you pray or will have in that day, But average Jake, 2/3 of the children of Israel, they have no faith at all, man. So they're going to die in their unfaithfulness and their disbelief and doubt and fear, So this is Clay City's IGA has been turning away customers who want to pay with EBT and food stamps for a little over a week. And now that you know these stores are in cahoots with the government, they're going to do exactly what the government say. When they come time to turn you away for that dollar, they're going to turn you away. And they're going to say you have to have some type of coinage, silver, gold, Bitcoin, crypto coin, something. But you can't have the dollar at some point. It says it's going to affect it a lot. There is a lot of people around here that's on food stamps, said Rachel Lynch. The IGA has accepted this payment method for years. Our machines weren't taking any EBT cards, and we didn't really know what was going on. See, nobody gonna have a clue when it happens, man. They not gonna have any clue because they busy worrying about R. Kelly. They busy worrying about the Bird Box shit. Bird Box. That's what it's called. They worrying about the game and shit. Everybody can't wait to tell me about the damn Eagles game because they going to the playoffs, some shit like that. But when it comes to what's going on with the government, they either resent you for telling them about it, warning them about it, or they look at you like you're judging them, for telling them to repent, warning them, or they just don't want to hear about it, man. They say the main two things you don't talk about in America is what? Politics and religion. And this is not a religion. This is the truth. All right? And politics is about to kick everybody in the ass. Esau's politics, the demonocracy that has become a dictatorship. Again, just like Rome. It says our machines, it turned from a republic into a dictatorship now. Our machines were our machines were not taking any EBT cards, and we didn't really know what was going on. We didn't know if it was a technical issue, and then we found out it was due to the government shutting down. That's deep, man. Now it's finally reaching out and touching the people, and the effects are going to set in. And you still got the dollar crashed, and the correction that happened, and you still have hyperinflation happening, and you have looming, and you have the crypto bull that just kicked off on the 4th, where the cryptocurrency is rising, and you have the dollar crashing, and the stock market on the downward bear market, heading towards the springtime and towards the end of this year, to where it could easily hit a Great Depression in the midst of this government shutdown, just like before, man. It's crazy, man. Nothing new happens under the sun, man. It's all a reflection of itself, man, until we get to the judgment and everything's going to be made new. All right. It says once they found out it was due to the government shutting down, which is basically to Trump and his peers and whoever else. It says cashiers say customers were angry, and angry meaning pissed the fuck off. And that's why the scriptures say the love of many shall wax cold, and they're going to be invading one another, man, for the lack of bread. It says they're really upset about it, which is understandable. So they must have been getting cussed out at the register. They ain't gonna have nobody to blame because America is nothing but a corporation. The United States. America just means bitter. And United States is the United Zones. Is nothing but a corporation. A corporation is a group of people that you can't point one finger at one person, because you don't know who, it got many faces. That's why the Lord call it a beast, man. All right. So, I mean, that's like you knowing, Salaki. I mean, that's like really discouraging that they can't use it. And I mean, we've had some people even get mad about it, but it's like out of our control. There's nothing we can do about it, Malone said. Until the government is up and running, folks in Clay City will have to look for other sources for groceries. Whew. I'd say the food pantries are going to be booming as far as people going there for food. Malone, and they're going to be going there for that pork. They want crab, shrimp, lobster, all your delicacies, which is all abominable foods, man. All right. It says Malone emphasized that her staff is just as upset with the issue as their customers. She said, as soon as the shutdown is lifted, she hopes her store will be able to once again cater to the needs of the community. They hope. So they have no idea, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 14. It says, for the hope of the ungodly, and you are ungodly if you're not turning back to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, and his son, Yahushua. All right. It says, for the hope of the ungodly is like the dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, man. So in the midst of this storm and this destruction that's coming upon this place, everybody's hope is going to vanish, man. Their American dream, everything that they're hoping for, or their type of salvation, according to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, the first chapter and down. I'm starting a little further down, but, a little further up in the chapter. So far beyond what they look for, man. All right. The Lord doesn't love you, man, if you're being wicked. If you're in this homosexuality, if you're a thief, if you're a liar, if you're teaching false doctrine, if you're in the churches, if you're in the Muslim, all these damn religions, following after America, calling yourself American or atheist, all these abominable things that have been accumulated over many kingdoms, the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, you got a chance to turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua before the door closes. And the way you do that is to call on his name, Yahweh, and his son named Yahushua, Ba'Hashem in the name, his son Yahushua, so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right, he said, those that call on his name shall be saved. Well, no servant is greater than their master. So we're going to go through persecution. We're going to go through suffering. We're going to go through a test, just like Yahushua went through. That's why he came down here to show us that we can make it through it. All right. The temptation is going to come upon all the world, man. And our hope is in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Our hope is in the kingdom, and that's not going to fail. So that's the difference. All right. So it says, for the hope of the ungodly is like the dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like a smoke, which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passes away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. So, hey, man, you say build your house upon the foundation. Your safety and your hope and your faith upon the foundation of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And those that build upon sand, when the destruction comes, it's going to destroy you. And your hopes and your dreams and imaginations and the wickedness that's in you. All right, you got a chance to purge it now through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, through the truth and the laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. So it says, but the righteous live forevermore. All right, the righteous are the ones that rightly divide the word of truth, and the ones that are apt to teach and also that keep the laws to the best of their ability and believe and have faith in the integrity of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right. But the righteous live forevermore. All right, you're living now, meaning alive from the dead, alive from sin, and also you'll be living in that day. The Lord will keep you alive from death, you know, and from the famine, because there's gonna be a famine coming, just like in the time of Egypt. All right, and many times, man, in the past. So it says, but their reward also is with Yahushua, man. And he's a sure thing, man. His truth is from everlasting to everlasting. You know, and he doesn't lie like man does. Man doesn't know what tomorrow holds. Yahushua does. He wrote it. All right. Yahweh gave him that ability. And it says, and the care of them is with the Most High, man. So the care of the elect is with the Most High and the children of Israel in general. All right. And he put us in care of Yahushua. And he kept that one thing for himself, which is that hour when he's going to send Yahushua. So, hey, man, we got some times coming ahead of us, man. All right. And you got to believe. You got to believe, man. And this is the time where everybody going to get shaky. They're going to try to pull at you. They're going to get emotional. People are going to try to crowd you that were turned away from you. People are going to try to move in with you that's not in the truth, just so they can bring demons in your fucking house that's hosted on their ass and in their minds, and doubt and confusion and stress and anger, you know, depression. So it's time to really gird up your loins and get ready to shut your doors, man. All right, in the spirit of the 10 virgins. And in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, when they sealed the door with Noah, because he wanted to let people in. You know, but this is the time of the Gentiles coming in. You know, the confusion of faces. They're gonna come in through the prophecy. The prophecy is gonna scare the shit out their ass, and they're gonna remember what they've been taught by the men of the Lord that's been doing this work. All right, and Yahweh Ratazah, they believe, and Yahweh can seal up his elect, you know, through Yahushua, man. All right, bring them into the sheepfold. So it says, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown. So fuck they gold and silver in America. Who cares about that, man? You know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua gonna protect his elect, man. All right, he didn't bring you this far to turn his back and forget about you. It says and a beautiful crown from Yahushua's hand, man. That's the goal, to get through all of this, the rough patches ahead of us, and get to the other side where Yahushua is, you know. And it says, for with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. All right, so he's going to protect his elect with his angels. See that? And with his right hand shall he cover them, man. Through the spirit, he's going to cover his elect. He's going to cover you with his spirit as his anointed. When the enemy coming rushing as a flood, then shall it be known who his chosen are. He's going to cover you. You know, and also, it says, and with his arm shall he protect them, man. So Yahushua going to send out his angels. Yahweh going to send out Yahushua and the command to his angels to protect his elect, man, until Yahushua arrives, man. And it's in the midst of Jacob's trouble. All right. In the midst of Armageddon, somewhere up in there, man. Or after the RFID chip get pushed, or before, who knows? But the Lord about to lift up his elect. We in that time where that change of the guard and transition about to happen. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Out of the Apocrypha, the KJV Apocrypha 16:11. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, and those that are in the earth. And even if you're in the world, you're not supposed to be of the world. And that's the difference. You know, it's always about the difference. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, man. You know, danger, war. all right, to the ones that dwell in this world. And even though we're here, our minds are in the spirit on Yahweh Shai, man, on the kingdom. All right. He says, where your treasure is, so will your heart be also. And they say, what? Home is where the heart is. So it says, and those that dwell therein, what? Physically and mentally. For the sword and destruction draweth nigh, man. Like martial law, the missiles, you know, and destruction, World War III. It's all drawing nigh. I mean, it's getting closer, and everybody feel it, but they were trying to block it out, just like they try to block out the prophets and the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They can't block this wall from but anyway, they can't block the flood or wall from crashing down on them. You know, they can't block that out because it's creeping up on them now. All right, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand, man. That's Civil War, and also World War III, man. You know, Armageddon. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and sedition represents civil war. A lot of brothers bringing the scripture out. We brought it out a few times recently, but that's the time we in. This is, it is what it is. It says there should be civil war among men, sedition. All right. It says, and invading one another. So people gonna be kicking in each other's doors just to get some food, feed their children, man. Same way they act. Oh shit. The same way they act at these damn Black Fridays. Those people, that's who they took the stamps from. Goddamn animals, man. They're gonna be bugging out here, man. Loose on the streets. That was your purge. It says, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. All right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, when they shutting down the cities, they putting gates up, walls up, perimeters, and all you might be traveling one day on the bus or in your car, and you leave out to go to the store or leave out of your general area, or your zone, or a county. And next thing you know, you turn around and they got the shit blocked off. You can't get back in and get to your children or your food or your plans. If you saved up shit at your house, you damn doomsday preppers, you mess around, can't even get to it. All right. Or people who start raiding your house because you've been prepping and saving up food. All right. So it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You know, they're talking about EMPs and the polar axis shifts that supposed to be happening, all kind of crazy shit that could put the lights out, or the government just cut off the switch. like at your house, you can't pay the electric, so they shut it off in that city. To say that city can't pay its electric bill or something like that, man. And they start removing electric poles and shit. People learn how to cut it on themselves. I forgot what happened at, man. It was Denver or Detroit somewhere. So hey, man. All you people that live in these row houses, like up in Philly, the row houses, man, they like door to door, next door, houses piled up on each other. And you already got poverty. And the people that's on the stamps, shit, man, this shit about to be crazy, man. This shit about to be crazy, but it's a beautiful work of art from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for judgment for the wicked. And an opportunity for the Lord to show his power in protecting his elect. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. All right. Great tribulation mean what? The dollar crashing, and the lack of bread, meaning food. All right. All This is another scripture that comes out a lot, came out a lot this past few months. Isaiah 31:1, because this is the time that we in. This is an omen, the spirit that we in. That's happening right now. The prophecy, time of prophecy. Speaking. It says, woe to Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, man. All right. Basically talking about America. That's trusting in this damn place. All right, that entrapped us. It says, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. So they trust in America because of their military strength, their financial strength, so-called, you know, and the housing and shit like that, man. That's why they trust in America. All right, they trust in the lies and deception of this place, while the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the wicked become more wicked, and they gather more of the lost to become more wicked. That's what this place is about. It's a place of judgment. Another iron furnace. Now it says, because they are very strong, and they say they trust in horsemen because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. So they trust in the military, they trust in the police, and they think they're safe and protected, even from the Most High, man. But all that shit about to go away. They're not paying they're not gonna give out DHS, Department of Homeland Security funding to the Border Patrol or to the police at some point. Shit, man. If all hell break loose, them police gonna go home and have to protect their families. Now it says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. So they ain't even seeking the Lord. They're not seeking Yahweh Shah. They're not reading. They don't believe nothing in these times. They're just seeking more gain, more wickedness, to gain more wealth. You gotta look at the richest people in the world, Oprah and them. Every day they still continue to lose riches. What if everybody became rich right now? Then what? That's just it. A bunch of wicked, rich people, and that's it. But then what? How can the community move forward? Because the scriptures say, how can two walk together unless they be agreed? And then if everybody became rich, then you have to create a whole new level of richness, man. Or what they call the upper class. They have to do something. So that's why the Lord said, you already rich, man. You're rich through the spirit. The kingdom is already yours. These prophecies will come to pass. It's already written. All you got to do is act out your part and play and be the righteous, man. Be on the right side of the field when the shit goes down. When your Yahweh Shah shows up. Now it says, so they trusting in America because of the things they see. All right. This is Psalms 33:16. There is no king saved by the multitude of an host, man. All right. And it's all through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah that any king is saved on this earth or brought down. Any king that you could think of, Antiochus, Hezekiah, King David, Xerxes, Artaxerxes, Cyrus, anybody you want to name, the African kings that we don't even fucking know. Anybody, shit. You know, even today, the king of Babylon, the king of the daughter of Babylon, Trump. All right, so he's not going to be saved by might. Even the Illuminati, they consider themselves kings and nobles. So it says what? There is no king saved by the multitude of an host, right? We're not going to be saved by our own might, by being Black Panthers and bullshit like that. Or in the spirit of ISUPK, talking about the killers and shit. Man, you ain't killing shit but time. All right. It says, there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. And horse is a vain thing for safety. All right. Just like the materials or tanks and shit like that. That's vain. That's vanity. That's the imagination of man. It can't keep you safe from the judgment that's coming. And even inside that tank, you can't stay in there forever. Your heart's still beating. You got a timer on it. A deadline. Unless the Lord saves you from the coming destruction. Yahweh Shah got to do it. That's why scripture say, no man shall buy you. Esau cannot save your ass. That man that's beating you up in that house in America, or calling himself a Black Panther or whatever, IUIC and all that, they can't save you. Only one that can save you is the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and the ones that he raised up. All right, in that day, he gonna make them as gold. Now it says, a mighty man is not delivered by much strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety. And that's twofold, talking about anything with power to it that they used, that has a rider to it, you know, that man created. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. See that? Behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, man. So that's the point. You want the eyes of the Lord to be upon you and protect you. And even when you go off, you ask him to correct you and to build you up, you know, and bless him to pray that he walk with you and don't allow you to walk contrary to him, you know, and pray that he reveals the truth to you. All right. And guides you the way he guided all the prophets in the past and believers that believed in him in the scriptures. Right. And it's a beautiful time to be in, man. If you really got eyes to see it, you know, and the mind to understand that this is all just a matrix, you know, and that's just it. Our soul waited for Yahweh. See, your soul supposed to wait. Like my soul has always been waiting for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. Waiting for the truth. Waiting for the kingdom. He is our help and our shield, man. So he is supposed to be your help and your shield. And his name is a strong tower. And the righteous are going to run into it. And they're going to be safe, man. Period. In that day. It says, he is our shield, help and our shield, man. If you read Psalms 91. All right. And he's able to shield you and cover you as if with a shield. Basically his spirit, putting the spirit upon you. Twofold. You know, guarding your spirit, your mind, and also guarding you physically in that day. It says, for our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name, man. We trusted him all this time. He allowed us to trust him. Not that we know him, but that but rather that we are known of him, you know, and he allowed us to put our trust in him, you know, and just like a bank, you put something in trust. He put his word and trust to us, and we put our hope and faith and trust to him. All right. He said, because we have trusted in his holy name, man, now it's time for the reward. Now it's time for the showing and proving, you know, proving of your faith. All right, now we at the bank and you got to show and prove who you are, who you connected to and what you believe, you know, your trust, and you get the reward. That's what's happening. Now it says, because we have trusted in his holy name, man, set apart from every other name, Yahweh, and his son's beautiful name, Yahushua. Let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us according as we hope in thee, man. And that's what you got to pray for, man, according to your hope in him. How much do you hope in him? And his mercy is endless. But how much do you hope in him? Is that endless? You know? And that's some things you should think about, meditate on, your hope. All right, he said, what? Let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. According as we hope in thee. You know, no doubt in that, man. It's supposed to be straight hope. Endlessly, man. Endless mercy. As much hope, mercy as he has, that's how much your hope should be. And that's endless. You know, it's endless, man. It's impossible to have, you know, because his mercy is forever. So if you believe in him, he'll make you forever.